Welcome to an all-new episode of Shaping the DCU. AJ, we hate you. We have, thanks to the great minds of Joel and Mike, we have put together a series where we are trying our best to navigate where we think James Gunn and Peter Safran may be going with structuring their new DCU. We're not predicting. We're not necessarily just throwing shit at a wall. We're just kind of structuring where we could see certain things happen. Joel, is that close to accurate to what this series is supposed to be?
We're just expressing what we'd like to see going forward. That's all.
I love how we're on the third episode and Juwan still doesn't know what the series is about.
Damn. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm trying not to fall asleep while recording this. But anyway, so we've done Batman and Superman. You guys have been amazing with the views over there. We appreciate it. Please continue checking out the videos on this channel. If you guys have not seen those first two episodes, we will be dropping them in the description for this video, so don't worry about it. We got your back. But today's episode is all about Wonder Woman. Okay? I know a lot of us were massive fans of what Gal Gadot brought to the Wonder Woman character. What Patty Jenkins brought to one of the two movies we got for Wonder Woman. We were definitely fans of there was just something so unique about what she brought to Wonder Woman that I just did not think she possessed before BVS, let alone that first Wonder Woman movie. So it's going to be really interesting to see where they go with the princess going forward. Because it seems like maybe Origins is something James is not interested in for our Trinity. So you might be diving into. I know Joel hates when I give things years, but maybe year 2, 3, or 4 of Diana. Rather than us kind of essentially seeing.
Hearing you say that.
Yeah, I know he hates the times that don't stick to specific.
Don't put it in a
times.
box. Don't do that.
Right here.
The guy that focuses a lot on timelines does not like time.
Joel does not like times. Nobody puts Joel in the corner. That's what he's trying to say.
You guys kept saying 2 years, like year 2 Superman. That nowhere did it say that. That's all I was just trying to express at the time.
Nowhere did it say that it didn't say that it could be year 2.
Well, don't say
the only person who could have. Yeah, the only person who could assign years to these characters is Frank Miller. Otherwise, leave it alone.
That is true. That is very true. Or if they wanted to bring Zach back, a 90-year-old Superman would be pretty cool. Anyway, so we're here to talk about Wonder Woman. So we are going to jump into it. AJ, I do believe you co-created Wonder Woman as a character. So I wanted to start with you. Let's start with the look of Wonder Woman. What is a look you would like to see James Gunn's Wonder Woman utilize?
For me, let's see. I would like her to have pants. I don't want the skirt. That's just me personally. I do want her to have a little cape to it too, as well. Give it that little mystical type feel for her, and I think that would be pretty cool for her.
You said a cape?
A cape, yes, a cape.
I'm with AJ on this one. Give Diana a cape. Let the entire Trinity have their capes.
Yes.
That'd be pretty
This would
fire.
be kind of badass with the pants. Like this cape with that last one that had the pants would kind of be badass.
This is the exact design that I want, but with pants. No stars on the pants. I don't want the stars on the pants. Just that. This is perfect right here. This, but with pants.
I think this is perfect. Period.
Yeah, you're right. But that is perfect as well. I want pants.
I don't have an issue with pants, but I am a very firm believer in I didn't get a perfect enough Wonder Woman in this skirt look for me to be ready to go full blown full blown pants.
I like the war skirt.
And you know what? Wait, doesn't what's her name? Fuck. Who's Wonder Woman's I call her sidekick, but
Donna Troy?
Donna. Doesn't Donna Wonder Girl, that's what it was. Thank you, Joe. I kept thinking Power Girl, and that's why I didn't want to say it out loud because I knew it was wrong.
Power Girl doesn't work in my head.
No. I know. That's what I was saying. I did not want to say it out loud. Wonder Girl
also depends on which Wonder Girl you're talking about.
Yeah. But doesn't Wonder Girl wear pants? Like, isn't there a version of Wonder Girl that wears pants?
Yeah.
Right. So, what would you do then, AJ, once you introduce her? Do you put her in the skirt, or do they both just rock pants?
They can both rock pants. I don't mind.
Okay. No. I wasn't. No. That was not me asking to knock you or anything. I was just trying to get your vision. That's it. I'm just trying to picture this. I didn't even think of Wonder Woman with pants, so you threw me back for a second. So now I'm just trying
look, I had to be different a little bit.
I'm trying to get used to it in my head, but who am I to necessarily disagree? To me, there is something unique about this look. There really is. I do prefer if you're gonna go this look, no cape. I kind of preferred the cape with the skirt that Mike had before, but if you're gonna do this look, no cape. This looks perfect. This is great, or as AJ would say, greatness.
Greatness.
I was just gonna say I can understand keeping the skirt, obviously because of her Greek origin and nature, and so I can understand it. But I do think just to switch it up a bit, show the difference.
Can I ask you this, Didge?
Yeah.
Can you and AJ do me this favor? Right? Because I don't want to pull Joel into this and speak for him, so I'll speak for myself. Can you do me this favor? Can her first movie be the skirt, and then once she gets acclimated to being on, let's say, the mainland, right? She kind of takes in the fact that almost everybody that she comes encounter with, whether they're fighting or not fighting, they wear pants. And it's something she takes on rather than, because to me, I'm like, how does it look if she starts with pants, but everybody else in her home world, well, not home world, her homeland is in skirts. So they're in skirts and she's in pants.
See, I would say no, because my first movie would not start her off in Paradise Island. It will actually start off on Man's World.
No flashbacks?
Well, there will be some flashbacks, but
so in those flashbacks, she would have pants.
Yeah, in the flashbacks, she would have the skirt. But for like the main story arc, she will have the pants because, in my vision, at least, I can see her on mainland 2 to 3 years. So it'll be in between that timeline.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on where it starts. Like I said, if she's already semi-acclimated, then it does make sense to have the pants because, like you said, as her armor as she updates everything. But if it's something where she's sort of still catching her bearings, I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but still sort of changing to modernize herself, it really makes sense to definitely have the skirt because that is ancient Greek battle armor. Yeah. They all had the skirt.
Even guys.
I feel like that's a costume design that you update for a sequel, right? To where it's earned. Like I've been doing this so long. Here's my new look, as opposed to the one you guys were used to seeing me in. This is now my new look. You know, to me, I feel as though superheroes, they shouldn't change it as much as Stark, but they should change it a lot more frequently than superheroes tend to change costumes. Because you don't have to have the same look every time we see you. It could change. So you could start with a skirt and then get pants.
If you were saying a change in from movie to movie, flip the other way, where she starts off trying, especially if it's one where, like I said, she's acclimated, trying with the pants, trying with everything, sort of the more modern look, and then sort of a go back to your roots type of look, where it's like, where, you know, the modern way didn't work, so I'm going to go back to my tried and true, where I know from showing my origins and using that for like, sort of how, I guess 1984 kind of tried to do that with the golden armor, where it's supposed to be like this is the ancient, but it's like I'm not saying do it for like how like that, but definitely do a. I'm wearing this modern fit, and then if that didn't work out, whatever in the sequel, I want to go to my traditional. Why?
No, you just wrote it now, Didge. You just wrote it. You and AJ just wrote James Gunn's Wonder Woman to where she goes, "Oh my God, I have to fight Cheetah. Let me break out."
I didn't say that, dude.
Armor.
No.
My pants to go fight Cheetah.
No.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm just gonna say that I feel like we're overcomplicating all of this. Women wear pants, women wear skirts, and they're interchangeable for them on a day-to-day basis. I don't think it's gonna be this confusing where we have to have this complicated lore on how she earns the pants or how she switches to the.
Look, that's on Didge and Juwan right there.
Well, no, my issue is more. No, my issue is more so just like I've only seen Supergirl in a skirt. So if you're telling me you're starting her with wearing pants, to me, I would kind of like to know why you decided for her to start with pants.
To be fair, in my vision,
that's all I'm saying.
And to be fair, in my vision, the first Wonder Woman movie won't be the first time we actually see Wonder Woman. Just putting that.
See her in Superman's movie?
Oh, for me, I don't know if we can get into this now, but for me, I would actually start off with a Justice League movie. But that's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
for that.
Been done.
What?
Yeah.
No. Now I got to go back and see what AJ's thoughts were on the second movie being essentially building the Justice League for that universe we just got away from. I had to go back and see what your thoughts were on BVS before I accept you trying.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you my exact thoughts on BVS.
I need to see what they were when BVS came out. But okay, so to your point, Mike, is I pass this on to Didge. It's not necessarily a confusion for me. It's just I'm used to this look, right? So if you're going something completely different, I just like to know why. That's all I'm saying. So I would be sticking around for the Making Wonder Woman documentary that comes out to see why the costume designer said, wear on pants. And it's like, you fucking talked to AJ and Didge, didn't you? Yeah, I did.
Easier to do stunts that way.
I mean, fair. So Didge, were you on board with AJ for the pants being the look you would like? Were you kind of just saying you don't have a problem if they do?
I don't have I'm gonna be honest. I don't necessarily the outfit. I don't necessarily care. I just want a good movie at that. A look that looks good, I should say. And you can definitely make both look good. I was just that's why I was sort of playing devil's advocate where I can understand this, I can understand that, and sort of interjecting there. But you can, as long as it looks good and the colors are colorful, they're not muted. That's really what I care about.
Oh. Yes, God bless. Look at the photo behind us. Look how we're seeing all the colors, right? Like they're all popping individually. Like that's important.
I don't need red. I don't need red to look silver. I don't need blue to look silver.
Like, I don't need to look at like her chest plate and confuse it for her wrist gauntlets. And like, is this the same color? Because they're not supposed to be.
Red looks brown.
Right. It's like what is this? Okay, no, I mean I definitely get where you're coming from, Didge. I will say for me, you're selling me on the cape, and I think the thing that I love most about the cape, AJ, is that I'm picturing when we first saw Ahsoka in The Mandalorian and she had the hood. Mm-hmm. She was rocking the hood, like the full cloak. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to see Wonder Woman. Like the hood, the full thing.
It like that as a cloak.
There is like a God of War type of look. I got to send the picture to Mike, but there's like a God of War type of look where Diana does have a cape. Well, it's not, I wouldn't even say it's a cape. It's more like a cloak. That looks very awesome. I gotta look for it, and I'll send it to Mike.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, let me give a shout out to Mike for bringing this up because Mike's doing a really good job selling me on the pants with that far left photo.
That's all Joel.
Oh, this is Joel's. Oh, okay, okay. Cool. This is selling me. I like that whole look. That's why I was saying I wasn't attacking AJ. I was just trying to picture it better. to where I could wrap my head around it, and that looks great.
That's to me.
That looks
great. If you were like mixing her old look with a modern look, to me it would look something like that. And I like that look. And I'm not a fan of the pants necessarily, but I do like the way that looks in that shot right there.
Because I don't think this look could look good with the skirt, like that specific look could look good with the skirt. That is like an ensemble. Like that has to all go together for that to pop the way that it does.
It looks like something like a mix between street clothes and her.
Now, Joel, the small problem we may run into with that look, and I'm passing it on to you, Joel, is when she meets what's her name? Black Canary. And she's just like, she turns Black Canary turns into Soldier Boy. She stole my whole fucking flow, dog. Like, this was my look, and she stole it. So that might be the little problem we get into, but we're a ways away from that. So till we get there, I like this. I like this.
But I love this, the look to the right, which is definitely more based on the Snyderverse version of it, which is the war skirt, and I love what this design. This is my favorite Wonder Woman, even with or without
colors
the cloak.
Huh? You do. The sun shines on it. Very beautiful.
You see the actual colors in it.
It's nice. I love all the trim. I don't even mind that it's a gold, like the gold and red on the boots instead of the white or silver, whatever. It's all. It looks great. That's kind of. I love this look. I love that look.
Let me ask you. I didn't get a chance to ask AJ, Joel, but let me ask you while you're breaking down these looks for us. The cape, does she keep it on when she fights, or does she kind of unlatch it? Like it's a look she has, but like when she fights, she takes it off.
Especially during Rebirth, early on, especially earlier versions of it, like earlier stories, she keeps it on. Okay. But like nowadays, it's like on and off. Whatever her mood. Like,
got you. Okay, because I know when people think of capes, they think of like the cape never comes off. But there are some people when they fully go bored. Like we're used to watching Piccolo go, all right, I got to showcase I'm strong. Let me get all this off. let me almost get naked. Like this is too heavy. So I was just curious how you wanted that to go. I mean, this, you know what this reminds me of, Mike? This reminds me of us waiting 19 movies of Thor for what's her name to finally look like that. So, Lady Sif. Yeah, we can get it from Wonder Woman because we'll never get it again from Sif. I'll take it.
That looks a lot like this.
I'll take it. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
This is the image AJ was talking about, and I have to say it looks fantastic.
Yes, it does. Now, is that pants going down? Because I can't see it. It's like
it's a skirt.
It's a skirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because she's freezing.
Right.
She's freezing. Come on,
right.
don't
she
assume
clearly
Wonder
has
Woman
furs
is
on
freezing.
because it's cold.
Wonder Woman's out here like this is a look. I don't get cold. Like, what Black Panther say? I don't freeze. I don't freeze. I'm good. I'm straight. No, I really do love this look, and we're gonna get into what we want to see villain and narrative wise. But AJ, me and you have talked at this ad nauseum, right? Like you introduced Wonder Woman in that last regime with a sword and a shield, and then really truly gave her no reason to continue to have it going forward. Yeah, and that was very frustrating because it's like I want to see that. I want to see the blood on the hands and the sword. I want to see Wonder Woman going full bore, right? Like I want to see that.
I forgot to bring that up, and I have down that we have to see her use the sword and shield. I just have to bring that up.
Yeah, that was a look. That was more obviously when she was introduced in the Snyderverse with the sword and shield. Because in the New 52, they started bringing the sword out a lot more, no shield. But now, obviously, in the movies, they gave her the sword and the shield, and it looks great on her. And the Injustice does it too, So like it worked. It works out really well. It's a nice addition. But like I didn't mind like in 184 where they didn't have it because it was overkill. She's just fighting normal people most of the time. Right. She don't need it. And I love the way they use the lasso. So I get it. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah, I would like them to make it situational, right? Like when she's fighting Darkseid or she's fighting like these otherworldly beings, that's when she armors up. That's why I feel like the pants and the skirt can be an interchangeable thing.
Mm-hmm.
The outfit we were showing earlier, that could just be like her street outfit, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's very casual compared to the full-on armor.
Yeah.
Right.
So like when she's fighting, you know, Maxwell Lord or whatever, she doesn't need the sword and the shield and all that armor. But if she's going against Cheetah or she's fighting, you know, Darkseid and the Furies, that's when she can armor up. And that's how, like you were saying, Juwan, she can have that Stark moment of, now I'm going to put on all these extra pieces because we're going to war.
That's what the Golden Eagle armor was. Like, only when she was going to war.
What it was supposed to be. Right. That's what it was supposed to be. But the way they executed it was so weird.
In the comedy, that's how it was.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so let me give credit, and then Joel, I'm gonna let you finish up before I pass it to Mike for us to round ourselves out on costumes. Where I wanted to give you credit, Dig, is I kind of would like she's in the pants, and then they come up against like a god, right? Like a god she has to fight, and she goes to like her trunk, opens it, and it's the traditional Wonder Woman outfit that we know her to have, you know, the skirt and everything. And she's just like, no. Like, I got to take this serious, right? Like, let me get back to me. She pulls that out, pulls out the sword, the shield. Like, that's a whole thing together. But in the pants, it's just lasso, right? But when you're going to war against things that merit your sword and shield, you go traditional, which is your skirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a cool moment. She goes to the closet, pulls it out, and it's the full thing. Sword, shield, the outfit, like that would be a cool aesthetic for me.
Well, because
especially if the colors pop like
that. It gives that illusion of like I'm going to war, which is what the armor was for, what the armor traditionally for. So it's like I like that. I like that a lot for that because of these three, like we're talking to, she's the one who's most likely the one to be like, I'm going to go to war and end this,
right?
And end this permanently. Right. So I like it that.
And out of these big three, I would say her and Batman should probably be the only ones we see different suits for, here and there. Whether it's Batman wearing different suits for different fights.
Situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So if she wants to go between pants and a skirt, no problem, because it has meaning to it. But Superman's probably the only one that should. That's just you, bro. Like, that's uniform. Like, you don't change out of that. That's, you don't go to Walmart in a red shirt and khakis, right? Like, no. You stay in your uniform. Stay in that shit, bro.
I love how you just described Jake from State Farm, though.
Yes, Superman is our Jake from State Farm. You don't switch it up, bro. That's you. That's just you.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
I was just gonna say to close this part of the conversation out. One thing that AJ was saying, right, having that God of War aesthetic on that one suit. And that phrasing is what makes this idea that we just came up with really cool, right? Like, you know, the moment in God of War where Kratos goes to the chest and he picks up the blades of chaos again, right? It's like, it's time to throw down. Yeah. That's what the sword and shield for Wonder Woman can be. To like, when she goes to pick that up, you know, it's about to get real.
It's serious.
Yeah, you know, Martian Manhunter just landed and was like, bro, this Doomsday dude. Not Doomsday, I'm sorry. This Darkseid dude, he's on his way, bro. And she's like, oh, bet. Let me get my shit. I'm ready.
Say less.
Say less. I'm good. Don't even worry about it. But no, Joel, so it was just these looks you kind of wanted to balance through, right? Like those three looks?
Yeah.
Or one of those three looks.
I think the perfect look is the ones to the right. I mean, that's because that's kind of what we've already got accustomed to.
Yeah.
So if we get something similar to that, I'm fine with it. If later on they update it with like pants or whatever the fuck, I'm fine with that too. Some type of combination of the two. Nah. I'm fine. You got to see evolution anyway, so I don't mind seeing that progression. You know.
Gotcha.
That one on the left is really cool.
It is.
It is.
It really is. It really is.
But like what Juan was saying, it does kind of look like black in there.
It does. It does.
I think the Joker is the one that's really doing the problem.
The Joker.
No, it's not just the Joker. You know what the true issue is, Mike? I still have PTSD of Birds of Prey giving Renee Montoya Black Canary's jacket, and now I'm picturing everybody else wear her jacket but her. and it's freaking me out. So it's like, all right, I don't want this to be a thing where everyone's wearing her jacket but her. Let's make it specifically that's her look.
I didn't mind the full suit, the full body suit that we saw earlier. That wasn't that bad either. That was like, it was just before they went rebirth, I think. That suit, but that's not a bad suit either. And I think it used to come with like a blade that came out of her gauntlet,
her arms. Yeah, I don't really care for that.
We just
not a bad suit.
Wait, you said she went full Assassin's Creed? Is that what you just said, Joel?
Yeah, we just had that picture up, right?
She went Shang.
Yeah, we had it earlier. Yeah,
this one. Yeah, you see, she's got the little blades down here.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I'm so sorry, Mike. I didn't notice that. I did not notice that at all. Oh, damn. Oh, wow.
These,
I'll be damned if Wonder Woman prison shanks me. You gotta kill me another way, dog. I ain't going out like that. Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's funny how we're all like cool with the pants now, but when Jim Lee introduced that concept like 10 years ago, there was a revolt, which is why she's in a skirt now.
I think, to be fair, I think the revolt came from just the idea of you just seen one thing for so long, right? And I don't think anyone was willing. Right, I don't think anyone was willing to change out of nowhere. But I think if you force an audience to do it,
that and the internet is too horny.
That doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. But it's not like you see anything, so that's weird. That's not why I wanted the skirt.
You see thighs.
That's enough for the internet.
I mean, sure.
Classic Wonder Woman.
That's enough for the internet.
Sure.
I'm telling you.
But I mean, are we gonna act like Gal Gadot had thighs?
I mean, we're talking about comic Wonder Woman.
No, I'm just saying, if we're gonna change it for the movies, that definitely shouldn't be why somebody says, "Nah, we got to put it in skirt." It's like, for what? What am I looking at?
Leave Gal Gadot alone, man.
Look, some people like it. Some people like it.
I guess so. God bless. But no, I mean, we have seen, like you guys are saying, the evolution of it. So to me, if you want to evolve into something else, but that classic look has to be utilized at some point. You know what I'm saying? That's my only thing. It can't be a look you just don't use.
Beach episode.
Oh,
every anime needs a beach episode.
The Star Spangled Shorts. I don't ever need to see.
No, I'm sorry, Joe. I meant the skirt. I'm sorry. I didn't mean what we're looking at now. I meant the skirt.
Yeah.
I mean, forcing Wonder Woman to wear that would be like telling whoever plays your Robin, like, dog, you gotta
wear green shorts.
Boy shorts. You gotta dress like a Keebler up, dog. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so to me, if you want to have a different look for different situations, no problem. Mike, you didn't kind of go over your specific look before we move on. What was the look you wanted?
Like we were saying before, you don't really have to change it. I just want a cape. I think when you look at the Justice League, only Batman and Superman have capes. Just give the entire Trinity, make that their thing, right? That's what makes them stand out. That's what makes them feel godly, right? Compared to some of the other characters.
That is true.
So yeah, just cape. With the suit we already got, I'm good.
Wait, you want to know how twisted my brain is? I'm now picturing the entire Justice League with capes. I'm trying to see how would Flash look in a cape.
He tripped, and that would be so dumb.
Not everyone.
You know what my mind went to is that Martian Manhunter also does wear a cape, right? So I'm like, can Hawkman do a cape where it sticks out of his wings, kind of pop out of it? Like, that
would be so dumb. Oh my god!
I mean, Green Lantern could give himself a cape, I guess. But
thank you guys for making me feel great
Green
about
Lantern
this.
wore a cape in what was it? Kingdom Come, no?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I always depend on you guys to make me feel horrible, so thank you. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about what characters and villains we would like to see introduced in this new Wonder Woman's universe. Mike, I'll start with you. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Before we get into that, I did forget one just weird thing for me.
Yeah.
Can we redesign Wonder Woman's logo? Like, the W's are cool, but I think it'd be really nice to utilize some of her other logos. Like, reincorporate the freaking eagle. That
the bird? The eagle?
The bird, yes. That's it. Like, if you can do that once, I'd be happy because the W's are kind of basic and boring.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion either way. So if that's what you want to do, I'm with you. Excuse me.
Incorporate like both of them, the W, and make it like some type of W eagle.
Well, that makes my earlier picture.
Could you make the bottom part of the armor a W? Could you make the bottom part where the red is a W and have where the gold is be the eagle, or is that too much?
Well, Mike, pull up the photo I just sent you again.
Yeah. You're just gonna have me sort through these. Give me a second.
So basically, it has the eagle, but it's where Juwan wants the W at. Mm-hmm. But I'll keep the eagle there and put
this one, right?
The W on it. Yeah. So you have the eagle on the midsection, and then you can have the W on the higher section.
To me, if you want to do that, that's fine because you're going away from her traditional look altogether. So that's like a whole new look. Yeah, like you're not structuring it anything. So if you do this, AJ and Mike, I'm fine with this. But I'm saying if you're going her traditional armor, I'm not saying I need the W. So this is not me arguing for the W. I'm just saying if you're going to do
needs the W,
the eagle there, would a W look bad in the red? Is all I
think what you could do is, and I've seen this before. You can have the belt kind of look like a W and have the chest plate be like an eagle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm fine with that. I mean, because it's funny, Joel. I always thought that was an issue with the fact that we've never had a Batman where like his utility belt had the logo on it. So I'm like, if you guys at least don't want it to shine on, really in live action.
Live act, yeah. I think it was
didn't keep
Batman Forever.
Oh, so okay. I'm sorry. Your name in the movie in my brain does not exist. So I put it out completely. I'm sorry. When you said that just now, I almost screamed at you like you were Trayvon. I'm sorry.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I believe that's exactly how trauma works, doesn't it? It didn't happen. It's gone. It's out of my brain. But yeah, I wouldn't have any issues with that at all, Mike. I wouldn't have any.
We've evolved a long way since the long skirt.
Looking at
the short bracelets.
Yeah. I don't have any issue with that.
But yeah, villains.
Wait. Before we get out of this, really quickly. How do we feel about her using her tiara as a weapon? We down for that, or just keep it on your head?
I don't mind that at all, actually.
I don't mind it.
What is it, a battering? I'm good on that.
I don't mind it being like her battering, right? Where someone's just like, "Oh, you don't have your lasso."
It's like a battering slash. It's like a battering slash Captain America shield. I'm good on that one.
The tiara, as long as it doesn't turn into like a boomerang and then come back.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No. We're saying, AJ, that the way she throws it kind of works like a boomerang, but it doesn't like shift into one.
It it
doesn't go.
Yeah, she doesn't sink like that. Like no, it's literally just a
battering.
Now again, AJ, when we say this, we're partly joking, but we're also we don't mean it like every fight she's in, she's using it like Batman does batarangs. Right. We're just saying if she wants that at some point, for comedic relief or whatever. Take it off, fling it out of motherfucker. I don't mind. I'm not against it.
And then she has to pick it up later on.
Yeah. No, it bounces back to her. She's a god, AJ. She's a god. I'm sorry. You're telling me that Zach made her wrist gauntlets go clank, clank, boom, but a tiara coming back is where you draw the line.
To be fair, with the gauntlets, it does have a significant point of her power set anyway.
Yeah. So, and her tiara is boomerang. Boomerang, bitch. Boomerang. I'm not running. I'm not flying. Boom. Tiara ring, and then lasso him back, so she ain't got to go nowhere. I like lazy Wonder Woman. That's what I need more of.
Lazy Wonder Woman.
Patty Jenkins had her, be able to turn things invisible with weird magic. So this is not the weirdest thing we see her do.
And Mike, and AJ's drawing a line at a boomerang tiara.
Look, I didn't like Wonder Woman 84 anyway, so I'm staying consistent here.
And because we did say this, Mike, Didge, and Joel, when we did the Superman aspect, we were saying we want more fantastical and less trying to make it so grounded and realistic.
Yeah.
How Wonder Woman's lasso looks right behind us, that's exactly what I want her lasso to look like in
Like
James
made of
Gunn's
light.
world. Right, like it's not supposed to be realistic. Like you're not supposed to look at it and go, "Oh, that's what
All
an
of this.
actual lasso does."
Yeah.
Right. I want it to be dramatic. I want it to be so dramatic.
I mean, 1984 was pretty dramatic. It was like
No,
fucking
it
shooting off
was.
lightning bolts and shit.
Right, that was dramatic.
He
That was
stuck to a
dramatic.
cloud, Juwan. Like,
Can I tell you the amount of tears I had from laughing when I saw that? Just like, Patty, what? What? She can swing from clouds?
yeah.
Oh,
Only
Patty.
to have her fly later. I'm like, oh, I could've just waited.
Wait, and a jet on top of it. Okay, we're moving on.
Actually,
Villains and characters.
I like the jet scene. I like the jet.
The jet I didn't have an issue with, but if I could Spider-Man myself off clouds, I start to think, why do I need to fly or jet anywhere? I just Spider-Man from clouds. That's
Because
it.
you know how the type of arm workout that would have to be to get where you're going?
And I'm sorry, have you not seen her arms? She's ripped. She's a god. Okay? That should not be an issue. You should not be saying, hey, I skipped arm day yesterday. It's like, what? You are a
I don't know
god.
how long it takes to get from point A to point B swinging that way. Plus,
Y'all don't got an issue with Spider-Man.
I mean, I would hate to do that if I was Spider-Man. Honestly.
Spider-Man swings within the city, not from.
Yeah, New York big as hell.
Let me
Hey, that's
tell
fine.
you.
She can, hey, if Hulk can jump from New Mexico to Florida in that Incredible Hulk movie, Wonder Woman can lasso from her world to New York. Go ahead, Didge. Oh, did you freeze? No, go ahead. Say it again, Didge.
I did freeze. No, I did freeze for a second. I was like, man, if I was Spider-Man, I'd have to tell my villains, like, yo, can we stick this to like 3 of the boroughs? Like,
See, if Joel wasn't such a hater, Spider-Man in live action could have been given a Spidey sickle. What did he get, AJ, in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon you love? He had a Spider-Man motorcycle that just shot whips for
and
him.
it was greatness.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Joel. Stop being a hater all your life.
Tiara, if you're gonna like that shit.
Hey, don't be
Let's
hating.
move on. Yeah, don't be a hater all your life, Joel. All right, let's move on. Villains and characters. Mike, I was starting with you before. I will start with you yet again. What are some of the villains that you would like to see utilize in James Gunn's Wonder Woman?
Just all of them, please. Like
More than
like
one.
we were
In
saying.
one movie.
Well, I mean, not that far, but like I'm just saying, like as far as Wonder Woman as a character, even though we've gotten 2 movies of her and we've gotten her in like BVS and Justice League, we didn't get a lot of Wonder Woman like centric characters. So I'm not picky. Just throw them all in there for all I care. Like, don't be messy about it, like how Sony does it. But there's none that really come to mind as far as villains go. As far as supporting characters, I'd like to see more Amazonians. You know, I'd like to see Donna. I'd like to see Artemis. I'd like to see Nubia. I think they would be great as supporting characters for Diana. Controversial pick. I don't want to see Steve Trevor.
Tell him, Mike. Tell him.
I'm tired of that
him.
character. We
Get
don't
him
need
out of
him.
here. Get him out of here.
You have to have Steve Trevor.
I
You know
can't. Patty
So,
ruined it
no,
for me by
it's
bringing him
controversial.
back in Wonder Woman 84. It's
This
like
is-
So wait, can I ask this,
Yeah,
Mike? Can I
sure,
ask this? Can we split the diff? Can you just not start with him, but down the line she does gain a Steve Trevor?
I guess, sure. I just need a break of Steve Trevor because it feels
Okay, that's what I'm
starting
saying.
to feel
Split the
like he's the main character over Wonder Woman. Like we had to bring him back for virtually no
That was
reason.
unnecessary. I agree.
Yeah,
But,
like it's not that he's a bad character or
tainted his
I
character.
dislike him. It's just
I
it's why I don't want to
him-
see General Zod.
I
again,
figured
right?
I
It's
figured
just
it
too
out,
much.
Mike. I figured it out. The opening words of that script she handed Warner Brothers was as Steve Trevor wakes up and they say, "Oh, no, get this shit out. No. We
Honestly,
don't
wouldn't
think
be
you need
surprised.
to be. We don't think you need to be making any more Wonder Woman movies. Nah, we thought it was too much the second time. We're not doing
The
this.
third movie had him come back. Like, no.
Right? He just wakes up just like
Man.
the Undertaker. It's like, what?
So Bruce was telling Diana about the Lazarus pits.
Right.
No. I need a break. So like,
But
yeah, if
he
you want to
blew
introduce
up.
him later on,
What
cool.
does she revive?
I would say this to me. I want you to utilize Steve Trevor because I think he is important, but I want you to utilize him more so as he's necessarily the mouthpiece between the government and the Justice League, right?
Liaison, like
right,
it was
yes.
in the New 52.
Right, exactly. So he just has a larger role. But where I will slightly agree with Mike is that I don't need him to be as important in that first Wonder Woman movie, because it did kind of make it seem a little dependent in that first movie, and 100% in the fucking second movie. But I kind of wanted to establish Wonder Woman on her own, right?
Yeah.
On her own. A lot of this story is just Wonder Woman driven. And then you just bring him in later, but you don't bring him in right away to be a love interest for Diana. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that happens down the line, but you don't have to force it. We know it's going to happen, right? It's like when you introduce Lois Lane and Superman. We know it's going to happen, right? Yeah, you don't need to start the movie with them tongue kissing. Like, we'll get there. It's okay.
I think a lot of it, too, was just no offense to Gal Gadot, but they probably just really thought the movies do better by having Chris Pine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
and so that's why it's like, you know, the first movie was fine, but they had to find a way to get somebody to kind of co-shepherd that second movie, because I just don't know if they had enough faith.
She wasn't like an unknown actress, so
100%.
He helped
100%. You are not wrong even a little bit in that thought process. That was 100%. But to me, by that point, she had done so much acting between the first Wonder Woman to the second one. You didn't need to bring him back for the second one.
I know.
She had established herself as an actor people can now have faith in. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I thought that was really weird. But yeah, to me, I would. So, are you okay with that idea, Mike? That he becomes like a liaison, kind of like not the Nick Fury of it, but like the go-between. So, like they don't speak to the president directly. The president speaks to Steve Trevor, and he goes and tells the Justice League, "This is what the president said," or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's like I was saying, a couple minutes ago. I don't have a problem with Steve Trevor as a character. It's not like I hate the character of Steve Trevor. Right. I just think we need to step away from him for the sake of Wonder Woman.
I will say this about Steve Trevor. I think he's an important...
Don't start this Daredevil hater.
Michael, he hates Steve Trevor. I think he's an important supporting character for a character that doesn't have a lot of supporting characters, at least not normal ones, because a lot of them are on Themyscira where she's not always on. There's no issues in Themyscira. The issues are outside of it. So she needs people to communicate with a man's world. And it's either him or Etta, right? So that's what made it really hard, because they jumped to the future and those characters either are dead or too old to matter. You know what I mean? Like, because they're probably, they killed them off or whatever. So you can change that and modernize everything. So I think similar to like what you do with Lois, you do with Steve Trevor, and the fact that they can become important supporting characters to the universe as a whole, not just to the one character. And so that I like what they did recently with Checkmate. And they included Lois and they included Steve Trevor as part of that organization, like deep cover. You know what I mean? Like I like that whole, something that could lead up to that would be really cool, because it took these supporting characters and made them more important than just love interest.
Yeah, to me that's fine, Joel. You just got to make sure you're taking a concerted effort to showcase his importance outside of just Diana in that movie.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying if you wanted to introduce him maybe in the second one, I don't have any issues with that. Because you've already established Wonder Woman's story. So now you're just adding in someone else that's a part of not only the bigger universe, but her world. And it doesn't feel like it's dividing it at all. Right. But I agree with you. You can't, because to me, Joel, keeping Steve Trevor out is just like the people that are like, I'm sick of Joker. We've seen enough Joker. And it's like, no. The difference is Joker just doesn't need to be a main villain, but I need a Joker somewhere. I need him to pop up somewhere. He just doesn't have to be the focus. You know what I'm saying? But to not use him at all. Because then what happens, Mike, is if you don't use Steve Trevor, they're just going to make up a motherfucker.
Yeah. I'd
rather you use somebody I know than tell me, hey, Jake from State Farm is a new love interest for Wonder Woman. Sitting there like, oh, no, call Steve. So you're pretty much saying like all the big villains you want to see utilized. Any other characters, Mike? Like secondary characters? We know how you feel about Steve. So outside of Steve, secondary characters you would like to see in Diana's world?
I mean, we kind of went over the Amazonians. I'd like to see them play a larger role. I feel like with Wonder Woman, just go full Greek mythology too, right? Like it'd be cool to see Ares. It would be cool to see Zeus, right, in the DC universe and what role he plays in all of that, and see just the other gods and her interactions with them. One of the things that we were talking about before is that Wonder Woman 2017, as much as I love it, I don't like how in the opening sequence we killed that entire part of her history.
Killed the pantheon,
right? Killed the entire Greek pantheon, and it's like it'd be cool to if you're gonna do that, make that like Ragnarok, right? Make that where that is a Wonder Woman movie, and we're seeing the fall of the gods and how that affects the world going forward, and how that affects her as a character. So I think for me, I love the comic book stuff, but me being the big Greek mythology nerd that I am, I would really like for them to lean into that aspect of the character too. Especially like we were saying with Batman and Superman going more fantastical. I think this would just add a new dimension to the DC universe that a lot of people aren't quite familiar with.
Yes, and can I piggyback off of you? I need my Greek gods and goddesses to be as big as we would assume them to be from the mythology, right? I don't necessarily need them to be, because that was one of my issues visually with what's his name in the first Wonder Woman. I kind of wanted him a little bit more. I kind of wanted him bigger, and I think if I didn't see who the actor was that was playing the villain,
like tall or bigger?
No, bigger as in stronger. As in stronger,
muscular,
more intimidating force.
Not everyone, not everyone. But for me, I think because I saw who the actor was that was playing Ares, right? I'm skipping around the name, but it's Ares, right? I think because I saw who the actor was. By the time the big fight came, it was kind of just like that's exactly how I would have expected that fight to go with Ares looking like that, right? But to me, I just want, like, at least that right there, how muscular he is there. I'll take that. I'm not saying I need him like Power Rangers where they grow like the size of buildings. I just need it to be more physically imposing. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't see, look, I didn't like the design of their Ares, but he wasn't like a frail Ares when he was.
No, not at all.
Is that he kept the mustache underneath the fucking helmet? That was
not at all. But I'm saying because I saw Ares outside of the suit and what he looked like. Once you put him in that suit, it wasn't much. Like he didn't get any bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't small though. He wasn't.
No, not at all. Yeah, no. Again, this isn't a diss. It's just I want it to be visually a little bit more muscular.
Dude in the armor was like when he was in. My problem is that he shouldn't look the same. He was undercover. Mm-hmm. He should have been a different actor after the fact. You know what I mean? That would have helped. That would have helped.
But I just want it because to me, I think one of the things, and I'm just basing this off of. Because Mike has me essentially creating God of War just with Wonder Woman, right? So one of the more fun things of God of War was the degree of difficulty, which I still to this day give Joel credit for seeing that mustache because this shot to me is so fucking dark. I see an eye, and that's it. I don't even see his mouth. I don't even see his mouth. So bravo to Joel.
I can see it.
It's that's more so an attack on me. My eyes are bad. This is all just so dark to me. I can't even see the mouth. I just see the eye.
One missed the lightning the first time it happened in Shazam. He's like, he didn't even use lightning to transform.
I sure did. So, I'm very consistent. But like I was saying, to me, one of the things that made God of War so interesting to me is when I played the earlier versions was like the villains, right? They didn't necessarily have to be more muscular than Kratos. Some of them were just bigger than Kratos, right? So it was harder for him to take some of these motherfuckers down. And I want some of that. I want her degree of difficulty to be higher. I felt like the end of Wonder Woman was too quick. I feel like the end of Wonder Woman 2 was just very weird. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you're going to give me this warrior goddess you got to give me a villain that makes her earn that shit. That's why I said that the photo of her, yes, the photo of her with the sword in her hand with it dripping blood. I need her to have to dig deep for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's more so what I meant by, like, they're not all, like you said, Dage, they're not all the size of fucking buildings, but I just need them a little bit more physically imposing. So she's earning these victories.
But I was gonna say, even muscular. Every Greek god isn't necessarily muscular.
All right.
Yeah.
You name me.
You would assume that a Greek god of war would be.
You damn right.
Yeah, the god of war.
Hermes wasn't.
Who?
Apollo wasn't necessarily.
Apollo Crews from wrestling?
Or Hermes and Apollo.
Apollo, the god of the light, sun.
Neither of them were necessarily muscular.
Man, she sound like she beat the shit out of them, no matter what they said. Look at they weak ass names. I'm talking about gods of war. Gods of war got to be more physically imposing. Whack ass god of light. The fuck? What?
There's
Come on,
only
man.
one god of war, though.
Nah, make more.
There's literally only one god of war, though.
Create more. I mean, shit. You know what? Fuck it, Mike. Crossover time. Kratos is one of the villains you got to fight.
I mean, Kratos does exist in Greek mythology, so I mean, they could just go ahead and do that.
He does, yeah.
Put him in there. Put him in there. No Ash.
As a villain in the DC universe.
Hey, look, James. Look. Stick it to Kevin. Get to Hercules before he does. Do it.
That's possible at this point.
No, but we haven't seen Hercules fight or no shit yet. Do it. Start it off with Hercules. But no, I just, like I said, I just want her to earn more of these victories that she gains. I felt like they were the two battles she had in the old regime were just underwhelming for me.
Yeah, the first one was a CGI fight. It really wasn't like a battle. It was like he was throwing shit at her with his
right, like garbage and shit. And it was like, what is
shit was just blowing up randomly. It was weird.
Ares Veto is what he turned into.
The fight was fine, but it ended very prematurely, and
it was also dark as shit.
It was at night for some reason. Okay.
All right. Who's this? Is this Ares, Mike?
I think it's just a random dude. This is one of AJ's pictures.
Oh, okay. All right. So AJ, I'll pass it to you. Explain to us what we're looking at here.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, what are we looking at?
Well, yeah, that is Ares.
Okay.
Oof.
The second one is in Rebirth, where Ares is trying to dig inside Wanda, Jesus Christ, Diana's mind.
Did you turn into Trayvon?
I was thinking Wanda. Yes, I did.
If we ain't witching.
But my vision is that we don't get Ares until the second movie. So what you guys were suggesting with the God of War type of movie, I like that, and I want to stick with that. I actually want to do the villains as Ares's children. So you have Deimos, Phobos, and Ares. So you can focus on those three characters within this first movie. And I also want to add in Anne Minerva into this movie, but she is helping Diana throughout this whole story. But it's also going to reflect their degrading friendship as well. That way, we can get her hero/villain story with Anne Minerva and why she just doesn't like Diana anymore. Unlike in 74, where it just happened randomly with no context whatsoever. It was terrible with that second Wonder Woman movie. But with this one, you'll have a fleshed out story of Anne Minerva and Diana, but also focusing on Diana and her getting home back to Paradise Island.
I like that. I like that as like adding another supporting character that eventually becomes a villain. It's not a bad idea.
I told you, AJ loves him some Wonder Woman, bro.
Too.
I told you.
I do.
I told you, AJ needed to be a part of this. He loves him some Wonder Woman. For me, and to me, this is non-negotiable. Giganta needs to be in somewhere in this shit. I don't need it as a main villain. You could have her as one of those. Oh, Didge, then I'll pass it to you. I won't even say another word. I'll pass it to you.
Continue.
No, because I think we might say some of the same things. So rather than me taking your talking time away. Just pass it right to you. Go ahead. So some of the villains and supporting characters you want to see utilized.
Well, one, like you said, Giganta has to be there. I was gonna let you go her because the two I really wanted to focus on were Cersei and Hecate, because I think, again, going back to what Mike was saying, showing more of the gods. So that's how you're gonna get Hecate in there. But you have, because she's not necessarily a pure antagonist to Wonder Woman. She sort of goes through Cersei. You kind of have to have her two at the same time.
Right.
So that's why I think you put them together, where it is a movie of her against Cersei, and then at the end you sort of figure out that somebody else is really pulling the strings along. Wherever you go from there doesn't necessarily matter, because you can open things up so much more, because then it's like, well, why is this specific god after me? Why did she care enough to be an antagonist to me and stuff like that?
I also like that because Hecate has a special relationship with Diana through her birth in the recent story arc of Historia, which is really cool.
Ooh,
so you can tie that in with this as well. And also Witching Hour, where Hecate basically imbues some of her power within Diana as well. So there's a lot you can do with that character.
Yeah, for me, one of the things. Oh, go ahead, Ditch. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying, yeah, I was just really agreeing. Like, yeah, I think that can be just a really good storyline, and it can go multiple places. And the other one is definitely Silver Swan, because
wasn't this Bloodlines, Joel?
What I like about her character, I just like it because it sort of shows the unintended ramifications of some of the stuff that she does. This is something that sort of, it came back to bite her in the ass because of the choices that she made before. And even though she felt like she was making the right decision, it had an unintended consequence, and now it created a villain that really, really was hurting her, and it hurt her in multiple ways, especially when she found out why this person became a villain and everything.
Right, and that's a person that was close to her, because there was the family that technically adopted her, or adopted, but I mean showed her man's world basically.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So it was, so you get literally the villain that's not only attacking you physically, but then when you find out their motives, and you're like, I essentially created you. And so I think that's just something that creates a really interesting story.
Yeah. One thing I do want James to do, and why it's so important to introduce these gods early on, is I want him to do something I still feel as though Kevin isn't necessarily doing or making abundantly clear over in Marvel. I want there to be a power structure, right? Because I think for the general audience, when you hear Superman, you just assume no matter whatever appears in the world of DC, it's not stronger than Superman, right? So I think when you structure these gods, their power sets, you structure Shazam, Black Adam, all these different power sets, when you see Superman struggle down the line, whether this becomes a Justice League movie against the gods or whatever the case may be, you're not having the general audience just the fuck you mean Zeus can beat up Superman? You know what I'm saying? For them, it's more so just oh, they've made it very clear that this is some of the shit he can't fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not only the structure of it. It's almost like a rock, paper, scissors type of thing, where one power can not necessarily overcome another, but it has an affinity over that specific set of power. Basically Shazam is magic, and Superman is somewhat weak to magic. So you can still, even though Shazam isn't stronger than Superman, you can still use that magic ability to give Shazam that extra push to actually beat
Shazam is super effective against Superman, is what you're saying.
Right. So, we're playing Pokemon. So what I'm saying, the reason I brought it up, AJ, is because, when I watch Thor Love and Thunder, right? When Thor sees Zeus, right? It's kind of clear Zeus is the all-powerful, right? But because we don't know the full extent of Thor's power, I don't know, can Thor fucking kill Zeus? I don't know. I don't know the full extent of the man's powers. It just seems it's at the whim of whoever the writer chooses to be.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever the writer is that they choose at that point, right?
Well, that's how Stanley created it.
No. I get that, but there's so many issues where we see Thor, like the extent of Thor's power, right? Now, if they want to add on to that, that's different. But at least with Superman over in DC, you can structure, this is what Superman can do, right? Now, there are certain points where he gets angry enough that it kind of gives him a boost.
Yeah.
But it's not like Superman can get so angry he could just defeat anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I want the structure to come in. So we're not looking at Superman like, bitch, Goku could come in this shit and Superman would win.
Let's not bring
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so that's what I want the structure to come in.
Well, it's sort of like X-Men a little bit, where you have tiers of power scales. You have Omega level, you have Alpha level, you have Beta and all of that.
Yep.
But not only does it like structure your power set, it also helps you identify with a different type of power set as well. So
so then you would have Superman, Wonder Woman, gods, and then Batman. You know what I'm saying? So just structure it properly, so people they're not shocked when they see certain shit. Well,
yeah, in DC you do have gods, and then you have metahumans, and then you have humans, and then you have
and then above all is Batman. Right.
Yeah.
We agree. All right. Didge, was there anybody else you would like to see? Because you were on fire, bro. you had all of it. Just like, yeah, we want that.
Those are the ones I really wanted to see. I think that was pretty much it. And that's why I wanted you to sort of continue with Giganta, because the three I really wanted were the three that I spoke on. And then Giganta was one of the ones where it's like, you kind of have to have her. But I didn't feel as strongly about her.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, for me, again, Joel makes fun of me about this all the time. I love villains. They are important to me, just as much as the heroes. Fair. So when I don't see certain villains, it does bother me a little bit. It's so funny because on the far right, Mike, whenever I see that picture, I think of the Harley Quinn show, and I'll leave it at that. I just think you can bring that to life. You can't bring that to life.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, no, I just see Harley Quinn show now. Like I just.
But that's more or less why I want to see him now, because I didn't know that much about him until the Harley Quinn show.
Can he say everything in live action he said in animation, Joe?
That would be one rated R movie.
Why can't that be his superpower, though? That's his superpower.
I'm talking shit, but everybody can talk shit.
He's uncancelable. That's his power.
That's what I was about to say. Is he the Tekashi 6ix9ine of the DC universe? This motherfucker is just untouchable. There was nothing that could knock him off kilter, bro. But no, so to me, I feel as though a great hero is defined by their villains, right? So for me, there's just certain villains that I think you have to hit, right? And I think we've seen too many superhero movies where they'll bring in somebody else or mix two people to create something else as opposed to just using the proper villain, right? So I'm like, to me, I don't want shortcuts, bro. I don't want shortcuts.
I think you need to introduce the world to Wonder Woman's Rogues Gallery because she has one.
She does, and extensive. You guys just riddled off names I never heard of. I thought y'all were saying gang words. I know that. I know what y'all were saying.
That's why
that shit was foreign to me.
That's why when you ask anyone in particular, it's like, no, just do it. Just do the thing. Like unlike Superman and Batman, right? Unlike Superman and Batman, who have been prominent in pop culture and movies for the last 40 years.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman has had 2 movies. And we didn't really cover a lot of her lore. So it's like, just do all of it.
I mean, shit, can we be honest? I don't think they really covered any. It kind of felt repetitive come second movie, right? It didn't feel like anything truly new.
Sure, I just don't want to make this us ranting about Wonder Woman for 2 hours.
I just mean new in the idea, Joel, of exploring her world, like her world, her history. It just didn't feel.
Us 2 villains.
I learned anything
in the last movie, but they weren't the best combination of villains.
Not at all. And one, one was because. I mean, sure. No, you're right. Yeah, no.
I like Medusa here, Silver Swan, Dr. Cypher.
I really do, Joel. I like how Bloodlines utilized her villains.
Bloodlines used a lot of villains.
I love how they did it, though. They all worked. It felt like everyone got equal screen time. Right, and I thought Giganta was used exactly how she should be.
Yeah.
Right, to where she's not a main focus, but she is a big ass threat.
And it was kind of an origin movie without being an origin movie.
Yes, it was. Yep. Same voice, by the way, which I thought was. Oh no! I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. They introduced Wonder Woman. How AJ once they introduced Wonder Woman, essentially in a Justice League movie. I forgot. I'm sitting there. I'm like, no, we had an origin. No, we didn't.
No, they did
we went right to Justice League. They did Batman, and then said, "All right, Justice League."
And they gave her the version of the new 52 suit, and then they gave her the suit that we like at the end of Bloodlines.
Okay, let me just ask this real quick, and then I'm going to go to you, Joel, to finish out villains and characters. Then we're going to end it on possible storylines we'd like to see utilized. Did it feel like she wasn't looking like a woman of color in those animated movies, but was voiced by a woman of color?
Not the first time that's happened.
It's not, but I thought in today's climate it wouldn't be an issue. But it was. It was. It definitely was. Mm-hmm. Who is this? Who am I looking at here?
Was her at one point?
She was. You're absolutely right. Who am I looking at here?
She's in Bloodlines too. At the end, what's her name? I believe it was Veronica something. Kale.
Yeah, Kale. I can't remember her I remember. Oh God, I think it's Hale. She's Hale basically
Veronica Kale.
It's a horrible comparison.
Kale.
She's like that.
Kale.
She's like that human that's against her.
Like
super smart, super
yeah. Got you.
Basically.
Got you.
This shot is just straight up Superman Lex anyway. So 100%. Yeah.
100%. And that's another thing as I pass it to you, Joel. One thing I definitely want them to structure is showcase the difference of how Wonder Woman and Superman fly. So maybe then Trayvon can understand. They don't both fly at the speed
they don't have to fly the same.
So it's like he's like she wasn't as fast as Superman.
But that's why I think
that's what they were trying to convey
in the movie in 1984. Honestly,
right? Yeah. But all right. So Joel, so the villains and characters, I think we've hit some of the major villains, right?
Yeah, Veronica Kale is a good character to introduce because it's another character that can leech off. Go on to other movies and interact with your Lex Luthors or whatever other genius tycoons that there. And there's plenty, right? So shout out to now Wonder Woman's version of one. So you got them. Dr. Psycho, he could work for honestly, it would work perfectly. I love Dr. Psycho. Whatever way they figure out to use Dr. Psycho, I'm cool with that. Who was the other one? Well, obviously, Cheetah, obviously being probably the most popular version, villain from Wonder Woman's Rogues Gallery. Mm-hmm. You want her. I think you want her prominently in the universe. So I like the way AJ was bringing it up, and that's the way of keeping that character in and having it progress to the point where maybe they have a Legion of Doom and she's in it. That'd be great.
Right.
Who else? Dr. Cypher I brought up too because it's just a tech especially modern day. It's a technological villain. I think that's another good villain that you can use to just to be different, you know what I mean? Just because it's just they used Dr. Poison in the last movie, but they used it really well, and I like the way they did the World War II idea. That was really good idea. Or War One. I'm sorry, World War
really?
War. You didn't like Dr. Poison?
No. I just thought they could have used her more. I think she was supposed to be a throwaway villain,
right?
Which I get. But I would like to see a little bit more. So wait, were you saying that you were good off of Dr. Poison? You don't need Dr. Poison again? Is that where you were going?
I mean, if they want to bring her back, cool. But I thought the way they used her was fine. I don't need her to be the main villain. She's
not. Well,
there's a lot of characters that. Yeah,
maybe that's how I saw her. Maybe that's my difference. Okay.
There's a lot of villains that are cool but can't carry their own movie. So them being used how Dr. Poison was.
But that's why to me, I would like to challenge the writer to just be more creative with Dr. Poison. But again, no problem. To me, I liked what they were doing. I just wanted more of it. And it didn't have to be in that movie because clearly you were just trying to get to Ares, but somewhere else down the line, I would have liked to have seen more of Dr. Poison. is like that threat that just keeps stabbing her in the side, right? Like not the threat that she's ever just like, I could die today. No, just more so like, you fucking annoying ass. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like if there's a villain that can't carry their own movie, you're limiting yourself in your creativity. You could make anyone work.
But like you said, like you don't want Jake. Do you want Jake Hansel leading the movie as the main villain?
No, my only issue with that is that visually, that's a lot of money to portray throughout that whole movie. I don't need you to do that. But I just see her more so as just a henchman, right? Like a henchman that is just to showcase how strong Wonder Woman is.
And some villains work better that way.
So. Right. But I think Dr. Poison you could use in so many different ways. But go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry. Yeah, that
was really. I mean, I think I mentioned all the villains that I brought to the table. Like again, we showed a picture of Medusa, and if you watch Bloodlines, like you said, Bloodlines did a great job of giving us more of the rogues gallery than we've ever seen.
Yeah, come out, just a rogues gallery, just as simple as that. Just a rogues gallery.
Right, it was like, oh, she actually has one. You're like, oh, really? Yeah.
Wow. We were always told it was just Cheetah. Huh. Yeah. This is interesting. So let me ask the group this. Anyone can jump in, and then we're moving on to our final topic before we get out of here. Would you guys have a problem if I said I wanted Artemis to go to the man's land with Diana? Not as her permanent sidekick, but for like a movie, she utilizes her as her sidekick. But that obviously that's not her permanent sidekick going forward.
Her and Diana work best as rivals, almost. Like,
okay,
I would say that I would agree with Juwan in one way, where we can get Artemis on Man's Land, just specifically so we can get Red Hood as well. We can get Bizarro.
If we get that Outlaws, I'm 100% in. Like,
oh well, damn, AJ, you were thinking way further than I was, but I like that energy. I like that energy.
I love that Outlaws team.
I love that energy. But that's the importance of why a connected universe, a cohesive universe, matters. Is so that when we do get to that point, that hits harder. You know,
there are different Amazonian tribes. I would hope they would touch on that too, because then you have you could bring I believe Artemis is part of a different one.
Yeah, she's part of the Artemis tribe, and then you have Nubia.
Yeah, right. Well, no, they have a specific name.
Oh wow, her name is Nubia.
That's Nubia.
No,
the tribe isn't called Nubia. They have specific. The different guys have specific
Nubia,
tribes.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is her name? That's legit
name,
my question.
Yeah.
Is her name Nubia? Okay, they were spot on. Okay,
she's technically Wonder Woman's sister, right? That's how she was introduced.
Yeah,
ain't they all sisters technically?
Technically,
no, but like
no,
yeah,
technically no,
no, but
they're all no.
They're sisters. As warriors,
it's like a
sisters with no misters.
Yeah.
Got you. They're sisters with no misters. Got you. That could be a tribe. The sisters with no misters. I like that tribe.
That's what they are.
Right. Yeah, the sisters with no misters. That's their gang name. But no, I mean, I because to me, I feel as though. So then, are we okay with one of these movies, the final battle, being on Themyscira, where we could see these women come together? To fight the big bad?
I mean, I guess. To
be fair, yes. I would actually like them to end up fighting against Zeus.
Or
when you get to that, oof, wow.
Because there's
AJ, that's my lane. Damn it.
I apologize.
I'm thinking too far ahead. I love it.
If you guys read Historia,
Historia is cool.
Yeah, it's freaking amazing. But it all starts off with the whole drama between Zeus and Hera, or is that the mother's name or the wife's name?
Hippolyta?
Is it? No, not
Wonder Woman's
Hera.
mother?
That is
Hera.
Oh,
Hippolyta's Wonder Woman's
wife.
mom, but if you're talking about Zeus, it's Hera. You're good.
Zeus's wife is Hera, yes.
It was just a whole drama between those two, and then that's how they started creating the different tribes with the different goddesses, with Demeter, Athena, Artemis, all of them. So to make that full circle, I would actually like them to all come back together and just fight off against Zeus and the rest of their gods.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I would love to see Zeus come down and get some visitation rights.
Trial of the Amazons or whatever. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah. But the Trials of the Amazon was basically just trying to figure out who killed Wonder Woman's mother.
Hippolyta. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That's basically what it was.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, I like it.
Story. Wasn't Gods and Immortals? That was the one that dove deep into the gods, right? I remember that storyline.
And they just introduced a new tribe, right, with the Brazilian.
All right, so wait, because you guys are getting into our final topic, so let's just get right into it. Joel, I want to start with you on this one. What is a storyline, or a premise, however you want to go into it, that you would like to see utilized for this Wonder Woman movie?
That's the thing. I don't know because I haven't read enough Wonder Woman stories to know what storyline I would like to hit. That's why I just bring up characters and whatever storylines they want to create with it. There's probably plenty that there are, but I don't know any off the top of my head. Like to go pick out a story and go, all right, I want this adapted.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm laughing, Joel, because I'm picturing the creative meeting that you're a part of, where you just walk in the room and you just drop on the table names, and you're like, all right,
figure it out.
Make it work.
Look,
Make it work.
I mean, that's how it works. Somebody at Warner Brothers is like, Joker's the biggest IP ever. Make a movie about him. Just him. And that's how we got the Joker.
Wait, Mike, no. No, there was that funny part where they're like, all right, guys, we're going to do a Joker movie. And they're like, oh, from like Joker's point of view. They're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, this sounds perfect. And then like the person that gave them that assignment starts to walk away. You just hear, oh, we can use Batman. No Batman. Oh, fuck. Damn, that was all my ideas that I had. What were we supposed to do now? Well, Bruce Wayne's 12. Joker's in his 30s. Make it work. Do something. Figure it out. And give me an Oscar, too, while you're at it. But no, I mean, to me, Joel, I don't necessarily disagree that that's kind of how I feel. There's nothing specific I need to be hit.
Yeah,
it's so weird for me because with DC, unlike Marvel, I'm more character-driven than I am story-driven. So in Marvel, there's a bunch of stories that I need hit. For DC, I kind of just want you to get the characters right. Like, if you give me the characters, whatever story you want to make up around them, by all means, you have fun. But the characters need to be accurate. Again, just for me. I'm more character-driven over at DC. So I probably would be the same. Like, here, put these together. Make it work. Make it good. But for me, I definitely need the focus to be the individuality. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, her first shot at it, second shot at it, however many shots. I need the focus to be her individuality. And that's why I said I wasn't necessarily against Mike with the idea of not starting with Steve Trevor. But I was just very much agreeing with you, Joel, on he needs to be a part of it at some point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for me, it's just do right by these characters, and I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. Didge, any story or plot line you would like to see utilized?
No, like Joel, I haven't read enough. Literally, the one that I know the most is Gods and Immortals, and a lot of that was taken for 2017 already, so I don't necessarily want to see that readapted. Gotcha.
It's funny because sadly, the the most Wonder Woman story, the not the biggest Wonder Woman story, but the biggest story with her lore in it that I know of is Injustice. When it was the War of the Gods fighting Superman and shit. So, I'm like, I don't want that. So yeah, that. Whatever you want to do, just those characters that they use, I want to see used, but don't do that story. Not yet, but I do want to get there at some point. AJ, you being the queen of the Amazons, what story premise would you like to see used?
All right.
Who would you like to see use?
There's 3 of them.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
damn.
combine the first 2, and that's the lies and the truth. Those are rebirth stories from the earlier years, focusing on how the lasso of truth just stops working, and Diana basically has to figure out what is the truth, and she just goes down this deep rabbit hole basically, and figures out that she hasn't been on Paradise Island at all, and it was just all a fabricated lie basically.
Well,
And then that's basically where my story picks up, where she has to find the actual Paradise Island, and then she faces off against Ares's children, like I was talking about before, and then you get down to the truth, the lies, where she starts to figure out everything, and Minerva actually starts to help her out, and this is probably like the second movie basically. And as like an entire trilogy, I'm actually going to combine Digis characters within this, and I'm actually going to put in the Witching Hour as part of like the last movie, where you get Hecate basically as like the final boss, and dying to figure out how her powers work and all of that. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
that was nice.
AJ did just give us a full 3-picture deal right there.
Right, he gave a trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Go pitch it, AJ.
That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT.
Look, I have a whole story arc for the entire. When you were asking me to do like a whole DCU like pitch, basically with the movies, I did like a whole. That's why it took me forever to like pick which movies to do first and all of that. I just went down like a whole deep rabbit hole, and I was like, okay.
That might have to be a video.
You clicked up with James when he went on that resort to go figure out the next 10 years. You were with him.
Shit,
you had a cup on the wall. You're like, yeah. All right.
This might have to be a video where AJ just shows us the DC universe he mapped out.
That would be a lot of fun. All right, so I like that. All right, Mike, you got to top it. You got to give us a 4-picture Wonder Woman arc.
You really should have not gone to me last, because I cannot top that.
Well, give us 4. He gave us 3. You got to give us 4.
I'm just gonna sit here and say Wonder Woman, out of the 3 we've done so far, for me, she doesn't have as many iconic stories as Superman and Batman, right? She's very much kind of like how I feel Spider-Man is, where Spider-Man is a character that we all love, but he doesn't have as many story arcs where I would say turn that into a movie. Whereas I look at Batman, you can take Year One, you can take The Dark Knight Returns, you can take The Long Halloween, and those can just become their own movies. Wonder Woman is very much where it's like, I love the character, I just want you to do your best and give us a new story with that character. So if AJ is pitching a trilogy based off of these rebirth stories, right, and he's incorporating all these interesting villains, I'm totally cool with that. I think that's the route you go with. But as far as anything in particular I want to see from a Wonder Woman story, no, just make it fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You know what's sad is that we've worked ourselves to a point to where a lot of these characters, whether it's Flash, Green Lantern, I know, calm down, Joel, don't get upset. Green Lantern, Martian Man, all these characters, I think we've worked ourselves into a point to where we just want to see them done right? Like what it's about is like maybe the third thing, right? We're more so like do it right, have them look right, and then the story. Yeah, okay, let's talk about that. But like it's like a laundry list before you get to what the actual arc is necessarily, right? Because we just want to see them done well. They've been so on and off, hot and cold. It's like just consistent, good DC movies. That's really it. That's all.
That's the Marvel formula, right? Like no matter what they do, as long as we're having fun with those characters. That's why,
right?
As controversial as Avengers: Age of Ultron is to some people, that's still an incredibly fun movie at times because we're just hanging out with the Avengers.
Some of the best parts.
Yeah, like some of the best parts of the MCU is just hanging out with the Avengers, not even doing anything.
I would argue the only good parts of Age of Ultron were the Avengers.
But that's my point, right? Like, that wasn't enough
yeah.
to sour you on the franchise. It's just we love being with those actors,
Like
with those characters. It's, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You called it Age of Ultron, and I just did not recognize that Ultron at all. That was I sat with that shit for so long. It's just like, I don't hate you, but ooh, do you have me angry? Like,
the lips is what did it for me, honestly.
I think it was the quirkiness. I think you making him Tony Stark was essentially my biggest issue. It was like the one-liners and shit. Nah, I preferred it when you allowed James Spader to just be creepy. But all right, guys, I think we've structured what a perfect Wonder Woman introduction to this new DCU could look like. Whether it's a skirt, whether it's pants, never Black Canary's jacket. I think. Sorry, still can't get over that. I think we all agree that there's so many different ways to go about this, but we all came to the same solution that you just have to get it right. You know what I'm saying? You just have to get it right. Well, don't say obviously. There's a whole regime that didn't focus on that.
I mean, just because we looked at it as wrong didn't mean that they didn't look at it as right. You know what I mean? Like,
they kept churning that shit out.
They only got a chance to do 2 of those.
No! I wasn't being specific about Wonder Woman because I thought the first one was extremely well done. I just meant the universe. I'm like, what's obvious for us was not obvious for them.
They didn't have a plan, though.
Well, we learned, they needed AJ at the time, but they couldn't afford it.
I'm willing to do this shit for free. I just need good movies out.
Stop saying that. James Gunn will hear that and put your ass to work.
Mute AJ and delete that in post. And like where he says, "I'm willing to do this shit," just come in and just for $1 million. And like,
yes, $1 million per script. Per script. That's what I like. Yes, that's a starting point. I like it. But no, this has been a lot of fun. I'm glad, AJ, we got to get you on here. I was telling Joel and Mike how much you love Wonder Woman and how you had to be part of it. That's why I reached out, because I know how much you appreciate Wonder Woman and her lore. Did you were just contractually obligated to be a part of all of these?
I like doing these. These are fun.
So much fun.
This was a really, really, really fun concept Joel put together. And look, it's been great. People have been responding to it, so it's been working.
It's fun. It's fun to spitball.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's all we're doing, really, right?
And I do like that you created the distinction of not like guessing, right? So it's not like we're trying to.
Right. I'm not trying to. I don't want to disappoint you. You don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. Yeah. We're not guessing. I'm not trying to figure out what he's doing. I'm just telling you what has been done and what I'd like to see come to life.
Right.
But whatever they do,
Right.
If I don't get the Sister Six over here, I'm gonna be disappointed. It's just a fact.
If you don't get it, Mike, you got to throw hands with James Gunn, like straight up.
I will do
one-on-one.
it. Straight up. Just give me his location. If he's gonna be at Comic-Con, we throwing hands.
Joanne, you were asking about Wonder Girl. Those are all her. Yeah. That's all her forms right there in the middle.
Oh, I was about to say she's black. Okay, I see you. Okay, got you. Okay. That's what Mike was talking about. And then you're like, that's all her forms. Like, what? She was black at one point? Shit.
Just listen.
I'm down the clown. But okay. I would say probably my favorite look is the red one. The red one right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That's
one?
probably my favorite one.
There are 4 of the 5 are red.
That one.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Bright ass red. I'll lead with the brightest red there. Is the one that I like the most. But I didn't really have much of
I like the black one too, though.
I didn't really have an issue on the look that they gave Donna in Titans. I didn't really have a problem with that look.
It's the same fucking costume.
It is?
Yeah.
That red one, yeah, it's a little different, obviously, because they cover her cleavage. But
oh well, no,
and they
that's not the distinction I was talking about. I just thought it was a different
great
color.
episode.
No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I just thought it was a different color. That's what I was saying. But okay.
I was gonna say Jesus.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. Please make sure you guys are liking, commenting. And if you're not already, please subscribe. Let us know in the comment section some of the things you'd like to see. You guys have been very vocal to what you'd like to see in our Batman and Superman videos. Right. So express it here for Wonder Woman. What are some of the things you guys would like to see? And what are some of the characters you would like to see us cover? Let us know in the comment section also. I have an idea, but you never know. You guys might spark something that we decide to lead with that one. But again, thank you guys so much for your constant support. I want to thank AJ, Didge, Mike, and Joel for joining me on this adventure as always. Something to look forward to, guys. Joel has something Marvel related that's very interesting. That's coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned for that. And Blake is going to give you your need to know guide for Kang the Conqueror. So stay tuned for that because that man is in love with Kang the Conqueror. It's everything almost you need to know. Everything you need to know about Kang's introduction, Blake will give you guys a guide for. So stay tuned, guys. We got so much heading your way. But till next time, guys. Peace.